Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 8th grade concept of trend lines. This is standard 8.5D in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 10 of the 2017 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we've got a scatter plot here, and it shows the number of people in each of 8 different households. So that just simply means we've got 8 different points plotted here, and it is a scatter plot, so it's not necessarily going to be a linear relationship like we would use direct variation or the slope-intercept form, but we're looking to see if we find a trend between the average amount of money spent, that's your y-axis, and the number of people in the household, and that is your x-axis. And it does seem like there is a pattern. So look at your 2 people in a household are going to spend, what's that, 60 and 80 bucks. You get up to 4 people in a household, that's going to spend up to, it looks like 128 maybe, and 150. Maybe that's 138. That's about 138 and 150. And then it just goes up. So it does seem like it increases, which makes sense. As you increase the number of people in the household, you are going to increase the amount of money you spend on groceries. And we can also say if you've got 0 people in the house, you're going to spend $0 on groceries. So based on this scatter plot, what is the best prediction of the average amount of money spent for 7 people? All right, so here's my 7 right here. It's between 6 and 8. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line. It's called a trend line. So even though we don't necessarily have a direct proportional relationship between the x and the y-axis here, I do see a pattern. And you see that on each of these, you've got, I'm going to draw this little dot in between each of these points. So that's kind of splitting your data right there for each of these x coordinates. We're going to try to draw a line. It's going to be a pretty steep line that kind of hits all of them. And I'm going to start at my origin, because if you've got 0 people, you can spend $0, and then you just go straight up like this. If you've got a ruler, that would be even better. Just put that on there and connect as many of those dots as you can. Sometimes the scatter plots don't have 2 beautiful points on the same x coordinate, so you just have to kind of get as close to them as possible. So we're looking here for 7. So my 7 is this line right here. And it looks like I'm almost 240. I'm going to call that 240-ish. Maybe a little bit below. And take a look at that first one. The first one gives me 240. So I'm thinking F is going to work. Let's just plot these other ones. So 7, 190. So this is 180 right here. So 190 is going to be, oh yeah, much too low. So there's your 190. And you see how the data would just have to kind of curve over to grab that. We're wanting to keep it a straight line. It's a trend line, not a trend curve. Now 210 is a little bit closer. So this is 220. So 210 is going to be right there. But you can see that it just, if I try to connect it, I'm just going to kind of not quite get back to the origin, and I'm not going to kind of capture the best for those last 2 as well. It's just hard to make a straight line there. And then 300, wow, is almost off the chart. So 300 would be appropriate if you're trying to grab 9 people, but not necessarily 7 people. You just can't really make that work and grab all the data. So our initial guess of 240 was right there as one of our answers, and it's F.